So, this is another day without cable. And what's interesting today is it's not like I don't have cable. Because if I put my iPad in the windowsill, I can hook up to the Xfinity hotspot. But like really, I don't want to be using my device in the windowsill. It's already weird. I don't want to. But, yeah, I don't know. And like it's interesting today because I've been communicating with the outside world as opposed to the last couple of days where I kind of just like kept it all within. And I find that like I'm a little bit irritated. I don't want to say that I'm a little bit irritated. I think that that's the wrong word. I think that I was feeling irritated earlier. And I just got done doing like, oh my goodness, I don't know, 45 minutes of yoga. So I'm feeling definitely much more centered and cool and calm and collected. However, yeah, so like, it's interesting how things go in general with life. Because I'm doing all of this changing, this inner alchemy, and it's funny because I still have to deal with some of the same people that I knew when I was like at my worst. So, and it's like finding the new me and redefining the new me, setting boundaries with people that are like, this never bothered you before. Of course it didn't bother me before. But I'm not obligated to be that same person again. And I'm not the same person. I am definitely a different person. I'm a different person since I started the video. I'm a different person since yesterday. I'm a different person since this morning. I'm just different. I'm always different. I'm fluid. I am fluid. Right? 90% water, fluid. I'm fluid. And yeah, so it's interesting defining boundaries with people that knew you and whatever that even means. I feel like there's a lot of myself that I've retained, and yet I am infinitely different. So when people say, well, you're just being, what did they say to me? I was being petty. Petty? What is petty? At first it was dismissing. I hate being dismissed. At first it was not, I don't want to say it wasn't validating, but it was dismissing my feelings and telling me that how I felt was wrong. And then, don't be petty. These are my boundaries. I have very set boundaries because if you cross them, then we have issues. So I'm like, I feel like I'm out in my pasture, setting up, like pounding stakes into the ground and like setting up the chicken wire fence and stuff. Like, these are my boundaries. This is me. This is you. Okay? It's just interesting. And then seeing how other people react to putting up boundaries. And I'm still going to keep putting them up. And not like these cement walls, these big, huge castle walls with moats and things like that. Nothing of that sort. But, I'm a person, and I realize that I need boundaries. Because for a really long time, I lived without boundaries. And people would step on me, and I would just be like, whatever. And I just drink myself to oblivion. Drinking myself to oblivion is not an option anymore. So I have to actually deal with my life, and if I'm actually dealing with my life, then this is not going to fly. Therefore, is this going? Okay, good. I was like, oh no, is it not going? Therefore, boundaries, need boundaries. And like, it's important to have boundaries, and it's interesting because a lot of people will put up boundaries like, no, you can't get to know my heart. Or one thing that I was really into was oversharing. I don't want to say oversharing, but being like just meeting somebody and being like, like, and like just regurgitating all of like the worst parts of me, like the worst story, all of that stuff. Like, deal with me now. What? You can't deal with me? Oh my god, nobody can deal with me. And you know, just being like, I'm too much for everybody. When in reality, like, come on, Bradley, like, let's dial it back a bit. It's like, because I was unable to deal with myself, or because it wasn't that I wasn't able to, I refused to. I didn't deal with myself. And because I refused to deal with myself, I would just blah, 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 to everybody else. And clearly to somebody that would just meet me, they would be like, okay, well, no. This right here, no. And I don't blame them. I really don't. I've come to an understanding that, like, that's okay. And they had to put up boundaries because it was like I was being really, really needy. And I don't even know if it was, like, needy. It was, like, I don't know. Something. But, and so, like, that was a boundary of mine that I would put up, like, a big brick wall. Like, nope, because you can't deal with all this. You couldn't deal with me, the real me. And it's like, okay, but am I really giving them the real me? Is that the me on the everyday, or is that just a story that I was telling myself and that I was regurgitating and telling to other people that I was repeating? And because I was repeating the story, I ended up perpetuating the story and reliving it. So it's like, how could I even get better when I was living in the past? Constantly in the past, always bringing it up. Well, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me, this horrible thing happened to me. A lot of horrible stuff's happened, okay? And it's brought me to this point, and yet I don't have to be that person anymore. I don't have to, this is today, and so I'm going to live today. I'm not going to live yesterday. I already lived yesterday. I'm going to do this now. This right now. And, yeah, so just, like, establishing these boundaries and really, really sticking with it. I feel like, because of my mirror right now, I don't know if you had seen on my Instagram post, but my mirror, it says, can I flip this around? Will it let me? On my mirror, it says, I respect myself, because this is my desk. Flip it right around. I don't know, can you see it? It's like right where the thing is. I respect myself. Where? I respect myself, right there in the mirror. And it's a reminder to me that I respect myself. I respect myself enough to establish boundaries, even with people that I had no boundaries with previously. And even though it might make them a little uncomfortable, and it might be super uncomfortable to me, I'm going to still, because I respect myself, I'm going to still put these boundaries in place, because there's just certain things that I will not tolerate, and that's okay for me to not tolerate them. That's all right. It's quite all right. And it's not like I need to be in a relationship with these people, like an intimate relationship with these people, but if you and I are going to have discourse, and we will, this is how we're going to do it. I will not allow certain behaviors. And yeah, it's like I said, I felt irritated earlier, but I was really irritated because I have to hold my iPad to the window just to get service, which is why I'm doing another video like this. This is just recording on my iPad instead of being live on Facebook and seeing all the people pop up. But yeah, so boundaries are really important. And I was finding, like, boundaries, especially with the substance abuse, between the drinking and the marijuana, and previously the cocaine. So much cocaine. Oh my gosh, so much cocaine. I can't even believe I'm alive. Like, for real, the amount of drugs that I have done for me to still be alive, oh my god. But I'm happy. I'm happy about it. I'm happy for it. I'm still here. Thank you. But yeah, so when I was living that kind of lifestyle really fast and had a ton of money clearly to burn or to put up my nose, I didn't have boundaries. I didn't understand. I didn't know how to say no. Like, somebody would be like, hey, can you do this for me? And I really didn't want to, or I felt uncomfortable, or maybe that was in a weird part of town, or whatever the case might have been. I would always just be like, okay. You know, I had ex-boyfriends. One of my ex-boyfriends told me to kill myself, and then like later on that day, he was in my bed, and I let him back in my bed because why? I didn't have boundaries. And it's like, now it's funny because I'm talking about the story and, you know, talking about what had happened, but I am illustrating what it was like to have no boundaries. And getting with my partner now, one of the first things I told him was, I'm not your fucking mom. So if you're hungry, you're going to need to come in here and help me prepare food because I'm not cooking for you. And although my delivery might have been a little off, there's definitely a better way to have said it. It was me asserting myself and being like, I'm not just going to sit here and wait on you hand and foot. You are a human. And if you eat, you're going to need to learn how to cook. Clear and simple. Because what happens when I'm laid up, like when I had the baby, I spent a whole week in bed, and then another week barely getting out of bed, and then another week after that, like, I didn't even go down the stairs really. So what am I going to do? Are we just going to eat takeout? No, we're not going to eat just takeout. You need to learn how to cook. It's important. And now it's just something fun it's fun. It's like something that we do together, and we get a chance to connect and talk about our days and laugh and things like that. So it actually ended up turning into something really beautiful. But at the same time, I was establishing my boundary. Now, if I would have never established that, I would have sat here and been like, why am I always cooking? I never, you know, and whining and crying and having a big old pity party. I'm not going to do that because I know that a lot of times women in our society, we're capable, like men, they're like, oh, I'll provide for my family, you know, and they'll go out and they'll do all of the work. And that's one thing. But it was women, it's like, well, we can take care of the entire household. Like, if you just give me money, I will make sure it goes everywhere. But running an entire household and and taking care of the dude's life, that's a big job. It's a huge job. It's a 24-hour, 7 days a week job, 365 days a year. Oh, 364. Pardon me, Mother's Day is coming up. And, okay, let me just go ahead and say this about Mother's Day. I hate Mother's Day. You want to know why? Because we make a big mess and we make mom breakfast in bed, and then who cleans it up? Huh? Who cleans that up? Mom. No. Don't sit there and have a nice Mother's Day and have her clean up the mess that you made. Absolutely not. Can't stand it. Anyway, get off my soapbox. But yeah, so even like taking care of the whole household, it is a big job, and taking care of the kids is one job. Cleaning up the house is another job. So when when the person who goes out of the house to work is like, I'm tired from working, well, I'm also tired from taking care of children, but we all live in this house, and we all will clean bathrooms, we all will clean the kitchen, we're all cooking, we all eat, we're all hands in, because many hands make light work. And like I said, we end up connecting and laughing and, you know, telling jokes and things like that while we prepare meals together. It's actually really quite nice. So, boundaries are important, and I'm learning how to establish boundaries, and I'm just learning how important my feelings are when I do feel them, which is often. I'm a Pisces. Let's be honest here. I'm a Pisces. I feel a lot of the feelings. I feel so many feelings. But that's okay. It's all right. I just work with myself, and I love myself, and we get it done. Right, self? Big hug. What else did I want to talk about today? Oh, yeah. Also, it takes me like 4 hours to put these videos onto the YouTube machine. It's pretty crazy. But again, I just put the device in the windowsill, and I just kind of like leave it there. Normally it would take like about 8 or 9 minutes, not even, to upload a video to YouTube, but now it's hours and hours. And I do not want to sit there and use my device on the windowsill. Like, I have a whole domicile, okay, this whole place to work in and to be in and to live in, and I'm not gonna sit there at the window like do 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 do. I don't know. But yeah, yoga did really well, and it was nice. I was doing some balance practice, and I did I did like tree pose, standing on one foot, and I even like put my foot, I don't know, can I do it right now? Can I do it? Ugh. Can I put my foot, like I put it here, and then would squat down just a little lower, and then also do like a forward fold like that, and it was really nice. Just working on balance and posture and breathing, these things. Really important, breath. Everyone's like, money is so important, this is so important. But money is like breath. Money flows, okay? It like flows. It's like, it's there and it's not, and it's there and like, it's okay. It'll come back. Like breath. It's energy. And without breath, we would be dead. Breath is life. So focus on the breath. You hear a lot of yoga teachers talking about. That's why. And a lot of times when we get, what is the word? Anxious. We get anxious. We hold anxiety in our lungs. And it's that breath. Catch up with your breath. Who's there? Where are you at? Why are you doing these things? What's going on? It's very important. So, and money, it's like interesting because we don't think about like, oh, where's my next breath coming from? Where is my next breath coming from? Oh no, breath, where? We don't hold on to breath like that. But we do hold on to things like money. We have so many beliefs about money. I've been reading that book, Think and Grow Rich, and just like learning about different ways to view money and different ways to view like the acquisition of money. And money loves systems. Money loves honesty. Money loves clarity. Money loves a lot of things. And so if we set up our systems and we just kind of make it to where money can just flow into our lives, it's just a lot easier than just going to work at one job and only having that one income stream. Whereas if we have multiple income streams, money can just kind of flow in at us. Like imagine you're like in a lake or something like that. Even in your bathtub, whatever. You're in a body of water and you've got one straw, okay? And you're submerged and you're trying to breathe and get your oxygen that way. That's what it's like to go to work and to, hi butt butts. That's what it's like to go to work and to have that form of money be all of your income. Whereas when you come above the water, we've got our nostrils, we've got our mouth going, we've got lots of different places to get the money, get the breath. I don't know, it just seems like a better way to go about this whole money thing, right? We're recording a video, butt. You say hello. Taking your shirt off? Snuggle is real. Well, it's been about 20 minutes. I discussed boundaries. I discussed boundaries, healthy boundaries, establishing boundaries. And I'm really thankful for the boundaries in my life, the ones that I am finally taking the time to put up and erect, because no matter if I set them up today or if I set them up next week or next month or whatever, like they need to be put up and they need to be honored because I deserve it. I also discussed her smile is so great. I also discussed some yoga, and a little bit of money systems, but basically boundaries, discussing boundaries and how great that they are and how great they make me feel. So I hope you have a really great day, and we will see you later. Boundaries. Say bye-bye. The snuggle is real. See you later.